Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a buffer problem. One of our students suggested we do this, so she will be famous after this. 2 moles of Bustanium. I gave you 4 pKa, so when it's fully protonated, it has 4 protons. When it's fully deprotonated, it's missing 4 protons. So what would be a good short form for the one that has all the protons? H4A would be pKa1. And H3A would be pKa2. And once you take away a proton, you're also taking away plus charge, right? So you're left with a negative charge. And H2A, 2 minus is the third one. HA, makes sense. The last one has only 1 proton, right? It's good. It's the last one. And we are starting with none of those, right? What are we starting with? A4A negative. A4 negative, sorry, not 4A. So we got the initial amount is 2. And the initial amount of HCl is 4.9. That's the ICE. And what is this becoming? A4 minus becomes HA3 minus. HCl becomes, you don't even have to answer because I don't care, right? Cl minus is just around for the ride. And you started with nothing. And limiting of those 2 numbers is 2. You're going to lose 2, you're going to lose 2, you're going to gain 2, you're going to gain 2, but who cares? So A4 minus is no longer part of the discussion. HCl is still part of the discussion, which means you're not done. And HA3 minus is a new player. And I'm going to stop talking about Cl minus entirely. And miracles of modern technology. I'm going to edit this for my second ice problem. How's that sound? Not fair, that's what I say. You didn't start with A4 minus. Hello, I need my eraser. And that. And you did start with 2 of whatever's here. It's HA3 minus. And you're going to end up with H2A2 minus. And you didn't start with 4.9 HCl. What did you start with? 2.9 HCl. How much did you lose? Did you lose all of it? No, you don't lose all of the excess reactants. You lose all of the limiting reactants. So HA3 minus is no longer part of the discussion. We're not done because we still have a strong acid present, HCl. If you have strong acid or strong base present, you're not done. This one never had a strong base, so don't talk about base in this one. And then, of course, we're going to do the fancy footwork again. And moving down here. Oh. I got to do it all the way, Dr. Whitaker. There we go. So what did we start with here? We didn't have that. We didn't have that. And we didn't have that. Yeah. So we got 2 of H2A, 2 negative. And we have 0.9 HCl. Oh, that's limiting, right? So we're going to get rid of this minus 2 here. Get rid of that 0 there. So you're going to lose how much? H2A2 minus? 0.9 and 0.9. You're finally done. You can put a happy face here. Means you're done. And you don't have to. And start with 0 of whatever that should be. That should be H what? When you're putting a proton on this, what does it become? H3A minus. That's right. You're gaining how much? How much are you gaining? 0.9. And we never needed the HCl stuff here after the fact. So that means you're left with 1.1 of this, right? 1.1. And you got 0.9 of this. So those are the two critical amounts in this problem. You've got this chemical in this amount. You got this chemical in this amount. Question 1. Which of those two chemicals is the acid in the pair? H3A minus. Question 2. What is the pKa of said acid? Oh, H3A minus. That's why we did this. It's 4.6. So your answer better be darn close to 4.6 because you have a buffer. How do you know you have a buffer? Oh, that's the best question of the day. No. You're answering a next question. She was answering the question. Well, actually, she didn't answer correctly, but that's okay. She was on track for the next. She was on track for the next question. She was rushing around getting her the activity in truth, so I forgive her. What she wanted to say was you have more of the base than the acid, which means the pH should be a little below the pK. Oh wait, bases don't lower pKa. Bases raise or higher it. You guys won. You finally got me to say it. Base raises pH. In Dearborn, base hires pKa. Okay. All right. What was the original question? I forgot.
What makes it a buffer?
Oh yeah. How do I know I have a buffer? You need two things for any buffer. What two things? A mixture of two things.
Conjugate pair.
A conjugate pair. Good. And that's half the answer. That's only a third of the answer. Sorry, a third. Let's talk about the acid in your conjugate pair. What kind of acid? No. If you have a strong acid in a buffer pair, you don't have a buffer pair because your base sucks. If you have a strong acid, its conjugate base sucks. It can't be a base. It's too sucky. Okay? So you need the acid to be weak. And then I move on. What about your base? What kind of base is it? I will remind you, if you have a strong base, then its conjugate acid sucks. It can't be an acid. It's too weak. So you need both partners to be weak. So yeah, we seem to have forgotten a little bit of buffers, but you remembered a lot too. So I was pretty happy because we haven't done that in 3 months. Okay. And yeah, so you need an acid with this one, pK 4.6. Is that strong or weak? Weak because it's above 0. What about pKb for its conjugate base? Tell me what it is. 9.4? I know where you're going. Hey, strong or weak? It's weak. I have a mixture of a weak acid and its conjugate base, which is also weak. I have a buffer. The pH will be close to pH roughly. You told me when you have more acid, no, base, sorry. She almost got me. You have more base here. More base than acid. So I like to say pH equals pKa. And does it go up or down? Base up. How about 4.7? Approximately. No calculators, right? So just go 0.1 above if you need above. Go 0.1 below if you need below. And if the numbers were equal, if you had equal amounts of acid and base, what kind of a buffer do you call that? Since we're making this review, we might as well make it comprehensive. If I had equal amounts of these two species, what specific type of buffer are we talking about? We forgot it. There's many ways to say it. It's like this buffer can react with acids as equally as well as bases because you've got equal amounts of acid and base. So in a sense, that's perfect, right? It's a perfect buffer.
Ideal.
Or it's ideal. Both, I've heard different teachers use different words. Perfect, ideal, optimal. I like that too, optimal. It's capable of neutralizing as much acid as base. And that's the end of that.